Brad, first of all, thank you for your time. Looking forward to chatting with you here over the next few minutes. And let's go all the way back, if you will, to when you first started playing. How old were you, and when did you first fall in love with the idea of being a pro soccer player?
Well, I first started playing when I think I was, 3 or 4 years old, and my uncle was the director of the local AYSO, and I was always a big kid growing up, and so I was able to get in there probably a few months earlier than other kids my age. But then from that point on, I just fell in love with the sport, whether it was playing on the field, playing in goal. I just loved running around, kicking the soccer ball, and I think probably as I got closer to maybe 6, 7, 8 years old, and that's really when I realized that as any kid would, you want to be a professional anything, and for me it was a professional soccer player.
Now, did you always start off as a goalkeeper, or did you play in the field? I always see you knocking the ball. I know you enjoy knocking the ball around more than most goalkeepers, although I know all you guys do. But what position did you first play, and when did you actually start focusing in on being a goalkeeper?
It's a good question. I mean, I always started off on the field. I was a center mid, if you will, and then as I went into my early teenage years, again I was playing on the field, and I loved goalkeeper so much that I would train during extra sessions at my club that I was at the time. I would train with the goalkeepers on the side, but then when I would have our team training sessions, I would go and play in the outfield, and as a holding mid, and just kind of run around and win some tackles and some head balls, and just kind of get after it a little bit.
What did playing in the Chicago area do for your development as a player as you were transitioning from those high school years to college?
It was huge. I mean, I was part of the Chicago Magic soccer club, and it was probably as close as to a professional environment as you could get to at the time. There were 2 big clubs in the Chicago area, and being from the South Suburbs, I played for the Magic, and it was, like I said, it was a professional environment where the intensity was there, the expectations to do well in the State Cup and try to get to regionals, and that's the winning mentality. That's where it really started, and the growth from an individual standpoint was huge, because it opened a lot of doors for me in terms of going to college soccer showcases and playing against national opponents, and going to regionals and things like that help build the profile of a young aspiring soccer player.
So Brad, I'm always curious, how do you go from the suburbs of Chicago to South Carolina? How did that all come together? It's not a journey most players make, that's for sure.
Right, and like I said, it started. I was playing on the field as an outfield player until I was 17, 18 years old. We played in a national final, but I was playing on the field, and not too many schools knew about me as a goalkeeper. I'd been to a few college showcases, or camps, if you will. I'd been involved with the state team, the regional team as a goalkeeper, but there weren't too many colleges that knew about me as a goalkeeper. And at the time, I had some offers from quite a few schools. I was very fortunate in that aspect, but being from Chicago, I was tired of playing indoor soccer and diving on AstroTurf that only had concrete under it, and my hips were kind of already screaming at me at the age of 18. And I wanted to go somewhere warm, and South Carolina was the fit for me at the time, and I made my decision and went with it.
It was a great decision, and you didn't stay in South Carolina long. You decide to leave early and sign with Major League Soccer, and you're drafted by Chivas USA. What was that like?
That was a game changer. That was one of the, for me as a professional athlete, that was the moment where I kind of looked at my mom and dad, and they could see the relief of making it. You know, that's the dream. You know, to be able to say you're a professional athlete is huge, and for me it was no different. And so, you know, that day will always be a special day. That's for sure.
The Chiefs